Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to Interior Expat. I'm Bev Moncrief, and today is moving day. I'm surrounded by a sea of saran wrap. So the movers have come. They were here yesterday and they have been wrapping up all of the furniture. Kobe and I have been working for the last 3 days, boxing up all of the items in the house. We've had to create an inventory for 75 boxes, which is quite a process in itself. We've had friends come who have helped us box up a lot of the things as well. We really couldn't have done it without their help. So it's been a busy 3 days, but we are done. The moving truck is coming today and they're going to start to load. So it's pretty exciting to finish up the Arizona house. We really love living in Arizona. We've had a good time here. We have great neighbors. It's been a good experience for us. But now we're done and we are going to Mexico. So today this video is going to be all about the move process and what it's like to move, what are the requirements, what are the things you need to know in order to make that move. All right, let's get started. Step one in the process is creating your inventory list or a manifest. So what we did was we created a system of labels. So each box is labeled with what's inside, just a very generic description. We have two labels, one on the side and one on the top of each box. And then those box numbers are coordinated to the inventory list. And the inventory list is something that you could obviously do on your Word program and have it printed up. But I didn't have access to a printer, so I was only able to handwrite my list. The other important thing about your inventory list is serial numbers. So if you're moving electronics across the border, you definitely need to have the serial number, make and model listed for those items. What I did was just took a photo. So I took a photo and then sent it to my mover via email. And that was really the simplest way for me to do that. The manifest list is very important. It is a requirement. If you don't document the items correctly, it will cause problems at the border when they go through customs. So that's step number one. Hey, Kobe. Kobe is boxing up box number 75. This is the last box that we've got to pack today. So, Kobe, how's the move been going so far?
Good. We have too much shit.
Excuse his language, but it's true. All right, equally important to creating that inventory list is knowing what's not allowed in those boxes. There are really important rules and regulations that you have to be clear and follow. So there's major categories that you need to know. Number one is food items. So in the boxes, you cannot have any food items of any type. Canned, frozen, fresh, no plants as well. The second category is medications. You cannot have any medications in the boxes. So you can't pack your prescription medications in your move. You also can't have any over-the-counter medications, so aspirins, cough syrups, none of that. So don't stock up and put those in the boxes. You can have your prescriptions on your possession when you cross the border, but not in the boxes in your move. Also no tobacco products as well. Chemicals is the next category. So all your cleaning supplies, your detergents, the items you may keep stored in the garage, don't stock up on brake fluid and have it in those boxes. New items. So new items, even if it's a new item that you've had stored for a long time, you have to take those things out of the box, get rid of all the new packaging, and use the item at least one time. And then it's okay to move. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you don't have any weapons, knives, and chemicals, things that are explosive, so like propane tanks and things like that are not allowed in the boxes as well. What's important to understand is that your mover will be crossing the border. They have to press a button, and if they get a green light, that means they can cross through without the inspection. But if they get a red light, that means they are going to have to deal with an inspection process. If they go through and they find an item that is one of those categories, it will cause a problem because it means they're going to get a thorough inspection and have to pay a fine. And they could really take apart your items, re-jostle your items and how they're packaged. They're not going to be doing a very good pack job when they're done doing the inspection, so you risk getting things damaged as well. So really, it's important to remember that they're very strict about those rules, and you really don't want to risk having a thorough inspection done at customs. It really will mess up what you have in the truck. So that's important to know. And the next thing we're going to do is interview Ronald. He's the mover that I chose to do this process with. He's a really great guy. He's been very helpful to me. I'm able to call him with all of my questions, and he's been very, very easy to work with. So that's it. Let's talk to Ron.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your company?
Well, we started 15 years ago out of necessity. We moved to Mexico, and my wife, after 6 months, wanted to stay. So we had our things in storage, and we asked someone, how do you get your things into Mexico? And they told me it's impossible. So I drove 15 hours to the border, and I found the secret of how to get your things into Mexico. Follow directions, and boom. 2 weeks later, my wife had what she needed, and it helped us stay there for Mexico a long time. That was important because when she came home, I wanted her to be familiar with the things that she had. And so after that, everyone kept asking me, and we said, well, you know what? We can make a living doing this. And that's what we did.
Well, so Ron, I'm a newbie to this move process. This is my first time doing it. And so I was wondering, well, you probably are pretty much an expert at this. What do you think are the biggest mistakes people make in the move to Mexico?
The biggest mistakes that people make is they don't follow directions. Mexico is very strict with their regulations. So, for example, one thing Mexico requires is that all electronic items be listed on the manifest, make, model, and serial number. Also, there are certain things that Mexico does not permit. And so when those things happen and customs open boxes, it creates a huge problem. But when people follow directions, just like Beverly did, it makes her life easier and it makes my life easier.
All right, so if you do make a mistake and let's say you pack a box of cereal and they find it, what happens?
Well, it's horrible. But the first thing they'll do is they'll look at us and say, hey, you got caught with your pants down here. It's going to cost you. So there was a gentleman who I know was my competitor. About 3 weeks ago, he sent a young man over the border. He told him to declare this, and the young man didn't. He got pulled over by Mexican customs. When they found that he had things that he did not declare, it cost him 10,000 pesos. And then they impounded his truck, and it cost him 16,000 more pesos to get it out.
Ouch.
But being in this business a long time, what we simply do is make sure the wheels are greased so that they can run smoothly.
There you go. So that's the advantage of knowing what you're doing and having experience doing it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Ron, I'm going to let you get back to work. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All
We look
right.
forward to getting you to your new home in San Miguel.
Did you want to give a shout out to your company?
Oh, Mexico Moving Company. www.mexicomovingcompany.com. We're an international mover. We've moved folks to over 9 countries. Panama, Greece, Italy, the Caribbean, all over. So that's us. And we're a family-owned business.
All right. Thanks so much, Ron.
Okay.
What y'all done? Oh, no, Marshall, man.
Yes, sir.
No, it shouldn't.
Yes,
Give
sir.
him a interception. Butler
Did
steps
you
in front of it.
Hey, did you ever? There's a show called Bill Belichick Do Your Job. Here you go.
I haven't heard of it.
Oh my
I
goodness.
hate him. I'm a
Let me tell you-
Belichick guy.
You know what happened? They have a guy, a mathematician,
Uh-huh.
who
All right,
was
you
up.
ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Top and bottom, because
Yep.
it's going to pop. I only got one.
Yep, I got it. He was a mathematician, and he set up in the office. And he said, more than likely, this is the play that they're going to run.
And they figured it out.
Yep. And the guy that intercepted,
Butler.
yes,
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler,
Yeah.
he missed it about 5 times in practice.
Uh-huh.
5 times in practice.
Uh-huh. I remember.
When they
He had
saw-
practiced it.
When they saw the lineup, they said, Butler, 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 because Butler wasn't in.
Uh-huh.
And Butler, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take it to the room.
All right.